my first live on YouTube. So welcome to my channel. So I'm so excited to connect with you all. And I'm here today with my friend Mani. Hi,
Hi.
Mani.
Hello. Wonderful to be here
All right.
with you.
So,
Thank you.
all right. So if you're familiar with my channel, it's all about spirituality and about how it relates to our relationships with ourselves and relationships with other people. And also we talk about like people pleasing, right? And needing external validation and all the emotional stuff that really not a lot of people talk about. So you can feel free to ask your questions in the chat and we will answer them. And today's life, the topic of the life is why when everything is falling apart, what is actually a good thing?
Yes,
So
absolutely.
so hello, Lenny. Join
Yep,
the
that's
live.
that's Alana. Hi, Alana. Thank you for
Oh,
your
Elena.
message.
All right. So the way I see it, Moni, when everything is falling apart, is like I think when you want to build a new building, you have to clear the ground, right? Because you can't really build on a rocky foundation. So when everything is falling apart, it's like the universe sweeping in and just taking care of things for you, and it just level up the ground in order for you to you be able to build new things in your life. So what do you think about it, Moni?
Well, that's 100% correct. So what people don't think of really before they're going through this or when they're going through it was since
Mm-hmm.
they were very little, they basically their loved ones, their family, their friends gave them this foundation and basically kind of told them who they are and where they ranked in life and what they should be doing. And
Right.
without knowing it, they created their own building. So when you're going
Mm-hmm.
through this spiritual awakening, basically that can't necessarily come with you. That's not for your best good. So everything crumbles. It feels like the world is falling apart. But what it's
Right.
doing actually is the universe is helping to clear that foundation to make a clean, new, true building that is going to be strong and last through your next generations, your next leveling up.
Right. And when it happens, it looks like everything like in chaos, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because like when they destroy the old building, like you see the dust and you see the mess and you can't really see clearly, right? So so today we are going to cover the signs that you're going to experience right before a shift and why it's actually saying that it's going to be a shift in your life. So the first sign, it's a big one, Mani. The first sign
Yes.
is people start dropping out of your life, right? And you're like, what just happened here? Like, did I do something wrong? And
Hmm.
you don't know what to do, and you feel really alone. And I've noticed that people right before they leave, they also start to act strange, right? And it's again, the way I see it is the people that they know you, they know your old identity, right? So
Right.
if you want to evolve, so because they are so close to you, it can affect you in a negative way. So the universe has to remove those people out of your life. What do you think about it?
Yeah, it's true. Like people, and you touched on people pleasing as well. The people that know
Mm-hmm.
the old you aren't necessarily meant to go on this journey with you. So you get
Mm-hmm.
you get separated. Your vibration, your frequency no longer matches who they know you as. And when
Mm-hmm.
you're going through this, they may not necessarily come out with you on the other side. They also can't help with your rebuilding, your new building on that foundation. They're just not meant to go through that with you. The ones that do are meant to go with you, sort of thing. But a lot of people you won't vibrationally match with anymore. And so they start
Right.
falling
And
away.
mhm. Because when you start to evolve, you change your frequency, and you are no longer at the same frequency as the people you know. So
Hmm.
there's no match anymore. So they have to, the universe has to remove those people out of your life in order for you to reach the next level, right?
Exactly. Yes.
And the next sign, it leads me to the next sign that you feel emotionally exhausted or numb, like you don't care about things anymore.
Mhm.
Not at the beginning, but after the initial shock. You just like, whatever, like, I don't care what happens with me. Like, I don't care if people will stay or go. You're just in a total surrender state, and you like whatever, you don't even care what happens with you. You don't even care what happens with you. And this is really a good thing, because when you are, there's a saying, when you become nothing, everything is possible, right? Because everything we want to experience is actually in the unknown. So if it were
Exactly.
in the known, you will already experience it. So if you want to experience those new exciting things, you can't really stay, at the same level that you were before. So you are experiencing all of these things. Have you experienced something like that? Like
Oh yeah, definitely.
feeling
And not
numb or
not just
mm-hmm,
once. It's gone on a couple of times, and again, that's where I reference, we're leveling up.
mm-hmm,
We're always excuse me, spiritually we should always be growing and taking on new experiences and not staying in the comfort zone, because nothing grows in the comfort zone except your
right.
comfort and your complacency, which is not what we're here to do, basically. So when we become too attached to those things,
Mm-hmm,
ultimately, eventually, this is where the universe is going to go, this is not for your best good, and this is not what you signed
right,
up for. So we're getting rid of this. We're going to make way for the
right.
new stuff coming in.
Right. And
Yeah.
also it forces you to be alone. Like especially if you're going through a
Okay.
spiritual awakening at the beginning, like the universe just is forcing you to face yourself. You just
Yeah.
can't run away. Like everyone is going to cancel on you, like all your plans. And I just wanted someone to hang out with, and there's no one to be around. Like because when there's a saying that God speaks to you in silent voice, like God, the universe, ourself, whatever you want to call it. So, in order for you to hear this voice, he has to clean all the noise, and the noise that includes people, includes event, and there's another sign that you are not
Hmm.
enjoying anymore. The things that you used to bring you joy, you're no longer enjoying them, right? So, and you're
Yes.
like something is wrong with me. Like I can't even enjoy
Yeah,
life anymore.
that's it. Definitely. Yeah. But if you think about it, so the things that you used to enjoy that you now no longer find any fulfillment in goes along with
Mm-hmm.
the people goes along with the people that fall away. It strips away everything that you would distract yourself with to
Yeah.
leave you with yourself to do the work, sort of
Mm-hmm.
thing. And that can be very scary, but everything that you want is just on the other side of that. And it doesn't mean that because you don't have that old foundation and that old building that you were so used to, it doesn't mean that the new life that is coming after that can't be better than you ever imagined.
Right, right. But if you think about like the building analogy, like when there's like when everything like the ground is level up and everything like is the ground is clear, you can't really see anything beside the dust, right, and the mess. But if you come like a year later, you will see like a shiny, bright, beautiful building. Like, and you could have imagined that that's what going to come out of this mess, right? So this is the same
Exactly.
thing, and the thing that people like have to remember that is only temporary, like because and you have like the way I see it, uh, if we are going to resist those things, it's just going to be harder. Like
Yep.
I really believe in the feel it to heal it, and sometimes you just to let yourself feel all those negative emotions, because if you're like going through a lot of stress and you're not going to feel them, because like our emotions are just energy in motion. So if you're not letting them go through you, right? So you're
Yep.
just keeping them like inside of your body, and that's how trauma is created.
Yep. And we're taught
So
that
you
we're
just
taught that that's normal when we're little. We're taught
mhm.
that it's normal. Don't feel the feelings. Just stop what you're doing. Everything's fine. Just so then what do you do with the feelings? You hold on to it and you find a place in there to stuff it somewhere.
Yeah,
And before
don't
you know it, you're full of those. Yeah, and that becomes part of the
yeah.
work.
Yeah, like when we are little, like don't cry, or I will give you a reason to cry about, right? So you grow
Yeah.
up and you think that expressing your emotions, it's not it's not cool, and there's something is wrong with you if
Yep.
you want to express your emotions, right? Because people are going to look at it, and especially our parents. That's a story for another life.
This is going to be a whole series, everybody.
Yeah, like
This is going to
most of our problems, unfortunately, comes from our parents, right? And
which came
with
from their
me,
parents, and their parents
yeah,
and their parents and their
and
parents.
it's just their programming. And if we don't have the awareness, we can't really change it, right? So
Exactly.
hmm And even though you think you got, and especially, when you start to experience all the chaos before all of that, you think that your life is like really good, like you've got everything figured out. That like I'm good, I'm all right. Like there's a saying, ignorance is bliss,
Oh
because
yeah.
you're not really aware of all the things that you want to change, and then things starts to crumble.
So I just, I want to bring up again what you brought up is that
Mhm.
so you feel emotionally exhausted or numb. That goes hand in hand with the not finding, joy or pleasure in the things that used to interest you. And like that is, it's a valid emotion. And I want people to know that you are never alone in that. That is
Mhm.
very expected and it's very typical for this type of spiritual awakening, leveling up type thing.
Mhm.
So I'm, just because you feel like very numb, you don't want to, you want to withdraw into yourself, you don't want to go out, you have no joy in things, normal. 100% normal. And you're going to come out on the other side of it, but you're going to have a little work to do before you do. But
Yes.
it is, yeah, by no means is that an isolated feeling at all.
Yes. And another thing, because people feel really alone when they're going through this process, and we are not actually really alone, right? We have like the universe, the God, or ISF, or whatever you want to call it. But especially if there's not people in your surroundings that you resonate with, or they're not understand what you're going through, they're like, I don't believe that, oh, I'm alone and no one can help me. You can always reach out for someone like online, or maybe just reading a book that is going to help you. So there's always someone that can help you if you reach out and if you express yourself. And it will make you feel like much better that you're not going through this alone, right? And of course, this is just temporary, right?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And and you yourself, you are, you're certified, you have done the education, you're licensed. You can help people through this period as well. You can give them suggestions, you can validate, and you can comfort. And that's huge. That's a big deal.
Yeah. Especially, I think, because when you're going through a lot of trauma, which I was experiencing, you can really like help people that gone through what you went through in the past, right? So, but
Exactly.
but the leveling up, it never ends, because sometimes we think, like, let's say you are going through your spiritual awakening, but we're talking about like in general experience in chaos and a lot of sign before a big shift. But I think that if someone like is drawn to this video, maybe is experiencing a spiritual awakening. And when you are going through a spiritual awakening, it looks like, okay, I have like a deadline. And now when I reach that point, I'm good. Like everything is fine. Like, like I'm untouchable, no more problems. Like everything like it's zen and I'm meditating. It never really ends. But the rock period, it's like the beginning of the first spiritual awakening. And this is like the real shock. And afterwards, it's like, I call it like mini awakenings. It's like you like, tuning your frequency. But
Yep. Finding the new stuff that you vibe with. And that is exciting. It's an adventure. It's an entire open world. You can basically have any experience you want at that point after you have done the work, because the old you would
right,
not have tried for that. But now, guess
right,
what? Guess what? You're going to attract all of these amazing people and experiences into your life that you didn't have before. So it's
right.
totally, yeah, yeah. There's good stuff on the other side of that every single time you level up.
Of course. And you know what's the paradox? When initially we don't want to be alone, right? We want people with us, and we're just people like just living. And at the end of the journey, or even through this journey, you're like, you know what? I don't need everyone. I don't need anybody. Like I'm good with myself. Of course, that eventually, and the paradox is once you're telling it to yourself and you do the inner work, you start to attract really your people, and there's just a reflection of your inner work. So the paradox is when you don't need a lot of people around, they just want to be around you, right?
Yes. Very much so. Very much so. You're when you are raising your frequency and vibration, you are attracting. You're not repelling. You may repel the wrong people, sort of thing, but those are not the ones that you need. Those are not your tribe. Your vibe attracts your tribe. So when
Right,
you level up,
right,
you're attracting everybody, and you give them you give other people permission to basically do the same thing when they see you becoming more authentic with
right,
yourself. That gives them the it all permission may be the wrong word, sort of thing, but it's like they say to themselves, oh well, they're doing this and they don't seem to need anybody, and they're not, they're not leaning on the old things. Maybe I should do the same. Like, there's the successful roadmap. Somebody else has completed it and they've done it, and they've come out on the other side and they have these really amazing new experiences. So your vibe does attract your tribe. Definitely.
right. And one thing that we always think that everyone should love us. It's impossible for everyone. Like you say, we are like a magnet. We are attract
Yep.
on the one side, and the other side will repel the people that are not resonate with you. So, and think about it, you don't even want like the people that you don't vibe with, you don't want them to love you. You don't need it. So it's impossible, because if everyone loves you, it means that there's a lack of authenticity, right? Because and then we start to, and of course, this is part of the programming. We start to change ourselves in order for other people to not, to walk on eggshells, and in order for
Yep.
other people to like us and to give us love and attention that maybe we didn't really receive when we were children, right?
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. So what's the next point we're going to talk about? Because this is
Yeah.
exciting.
So what
And
we're
hi,
going to
everybody.
experience. Hi, everyone.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you for joining us. Yeah. So the next one is you experience a lot of synchronicities.
Oh, I love this one. This one's the best.
Yes. So you're going to see a lot of repeating numbers. And even if you're not on a spiritual path, you start to notice them, right? And they're like, oh, I wonder what it is. Like you go to Google, oh, and you see now there are repeating numbers. They're like messages from the universe, right? Like
Yeah.
if you are on a spiritual journey, you're going to see a lot of 1111, right? So have you experienced a lot of numbers? Still experiencing.
Oh, still experiencing, yes. But I mean, aside, so math is a universal language. The universe doesn't
Mhm.
necessarily communicate in words. A lot of it can come through um sequences of numbers, like what they call
Right.
angel numbers, which is numbers that repeat in a sequence or what have you. But like you had pointed out the other day when we were talking, it can also come in the form of, you can pass by a billboard 1,000 times while you're
Right.
driving, and all of a sudden you notice the message on that billboard, and actually it corresponds to whatever you happen to be thinking in your head at that time. Or
Yes. Mhm.
there's the messages in music. That's a big one. That's really big
Yeah,
one.
like yeah, you're looking for an answer, like you're thinking about a question for a few days, and then like you see something on the billboard. And, the most powerful thing that I experience like all the time, like if you're like passing by like people and they're having a conversation, like you for a split second you will hear like one word. This is like, oh my god, they just like read my mind.
Yes. Yes, 100%. And that's basically, that's your, whatever you want to call the higher energy that is around you. Some people call it God, some people call it the universe, some people call it higher self, spiritual guide, whatever it is. Making sure that you're paying attention, because now you're on a frequency to attract in these things, to
Hmm.
address what's going on in here, again, to help you level up and start building that new building. That is you.
Yeah. And a part of the chaos when we every time we experience before a breakthrough, it's like things started to break down, like electronics, like
Uh-huh.
and like something.
Yes. Very definitely. Yes.
Like again and again, you're when you do the inner work, you start to change. Like why, like people ask me why it's a good thing. Like when you experience all this chaos, because think about it. Like when you right now in your normal environment, you are at a specific frequency, right? So it
Yep.
will only, even if you don't believe in all the spiritual stuff, it would only make sense that if you are leveling up, you are no longer a match to your environment. So that's why, people start to leave, things start to break down, like all the things that like you start arguments with people, like people start arguing with you, and you like, where did it come from? Like, and you start thinking that, but you start thinking that something is really wrong with you. So it's really important for people to know that like nothing is really wrong with you, right? You're just evolving and growing. So this is just part of the process.
So instead of asking what's wrong with you, like what is wrong with me that all of these things are happening,
Mm-hmm.
maybe it would be helpful to think of, so what is right with me? What is becoming? Because we're always
Yeah.
in a state of becoming. So it's not what's wrong with me that these old things are falling away. It's what is right with me that these wonderful new experiences are coming in.
Right. Right.
So
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
just
yeah, go
wanted to
ahead.
say, if anybody has any comments or questions, go ahead and please
Yeah.
post them in the chat, and we'd be happy to address those.
Yeah. So thank you everyone for watching. And what I really want people to take from this live, it's how do you, okay, you're going through all these chaos. So how do you deal with them, right? So what's really helped me and still I use, it's practicing a lot of mindfulness and
Yeah.
just to realize that most of the noise, that's another big sign, Marnie. Like your mind is not going to leave you alone. Like if
Oh, yeah.
everyone's leave you alone, your mind, it doesn't want to leave.
Now we have to differentiate here between, like, there's ego and
Yeah.
and mind. So when you're talking about mindfulness, it's different from the ego. The
Yeah,
ego
yeah,
is
yeah.
the identity that everybody gave you, that you
Right,
accepted into your subconscious, that became your operating
right.
program, basically, from the age of 7 on up. It's kind of the
Mm-hmm.
basis sort of thing. So definitely when you go to make these changes, the ego is going to tell you, you can't do this, you're not good enough,
Right.
nobody loves you, everybody's leaving you alone, it's because you're unlovable and you're horrible and you're not good enough.
Yes.
And we internalize all of these things because we've been taught to internalize our emotions rather than getting those
Yes.
expressed in a healthy way so that they can be released, right?
Yes. This
So
is our ego mind. This is our conscious mind, right? The
yes.
one who creates
Yeah.
all the doubts and all the false beliefs, because our conscious mind is it's really identify itself with your old self-image. So when it starts to sense that you're, I don't know, you can't really, it's not going to die because your ego one can really die. It cannot
Yeah.
die. But when you start to sense that you start to disconnect from your old identity and from what's familiar, it starts to panic and is going
Yeah.
to attack you.
It's going to feed you a lot of false information. And I'm going to tell you right now, if it is negative in any way, what you're hearing going
Mm-hmm.
on, sort of thing, or what you're feeling, if it's negative, in nature, sort of thing, and it's telling you these things, that's the ego. And
Right,
that is not you. You are
right.
pure love, you are pure light, you are pure energy. So if you start hearing these negative things, i.e., you're falling away, nobody loves you, not good enough, yada yada yada, that is the ego. The ego
Mm-hmm.
doesn't want you to level up because then it ceases to
Right.
exist. You don't need it anymore.
Right. And then there's the other voice, that the voice that it's from your higher self, right? This is the
Right.
voice that it's like soothing and very relaxing. It's like compassionate, right? It makes you feel like calm and relaxed and that everything is good, right? But of
Yes,
course, we are conditioned, right? From the
we
day we
are.
are born to listen to our conscious mind, to our, all the negative stuff. And while you're going through this process, it's just going to become worse. Just, I'm just being honest with you. It's going to become worse. And like the one really tool that helped me a lot, we started to talk about mindfulness and just it's just to you have to stop identify yourself with your thoughts, because you are not your thoughts or your emotion. You are the witness of them. So
Yes,
if you are witnessing them, you can't be the same thing, right?
exactly.
So this is like mindfulness. It's just like when everything like it's like your head and your thought like going like everything like, oh my God, it's like, when you have like a flu, like, or you have a cold, you think that you're never going to make it alive.
Yes.
It's like the same thing. So like, oh no, you're not going to make it. So if you just start and it's a practice, like for me, it took me like, now I'm talking about like spiritual awakening. It took me like 9 months just to balance my energy, but I practiced like day in and day out. And of course, like even after a lot of years, your mind is still going to be on your case. But now you become more the observer of your mind. You are more detached from your mind, right? And so
Detached is
the
good.
same thought, yes, so the same thought are not going to affect you as it was before. So that's the practice that you don't need like, oh, like mindfulness, it's not really complicated thing. Just practice being the witness, like you see yourself on like a movie screen, like, oh, okay, this is like more like overthinking everything, just watching yourself.
Right? Right? Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just an exercise, and that's a very helpful one as well to for people to realize that they are not their thoughts.
Mm-hmm. So this is
Yeah.
if you take something from this live, start practicing like being the observer and the watcher, or just start being the witness of what happening. And when you start to be like the witness of what happening, even if like there's a lot of chaos, when you start to be the witness, you start. It's like an emotional detachment from those things, right?
Yep.
it's not even like belong to you, like because you're like on the outside looking in. It's not you. You stop the identification with those thoughts and with emotions, and with time when you practice it, they are going to subside.
No, I love this. So, Lanny Banani commented, "Don't believe everything you think."
Right.
That
Yeah.
that is huge. Like that gets a thumbs up right there. Way to
Yeah.
go.
That's a
And
powerful
because
one.
that is a lot
Hmm.
of self-work that goes into recognizing that 100%.
Right. And just by her, like this is pure awareness. When you start to catch yourself, oh, these are my thoughts, like you start to, this is the first step to disassociate yourself from your minds and your feelings, because think about it, most of the people, they're on autopilot, right?
Yes, they're on their program that was given to them as kids, and it operates in the background as a paradigm that they don't even think about. It's just so automatic.
Yeah, like even like the process of thinking, like you're thinking something, especially if it's negative, immediately you believe in those thoughts, and then those thoughts, you feel them like as negative emotions in your body, right? So people don't even stop and ask, are these thoughts are even mine? Are those beliefs are even mine? Or is something that I was assigned to when I was little, right?
Exactly. Exactly. So, I mean, the core of it is that everybody at some point in their life goes through what we call like the dark night of the soul, where everything just
Mhm.
seems dark and gloomy, and there are all these signs that looks like your life is completely falling apart. Well, when you're
Right.
leveling up, you don't necessarily get to take who you were with you. It became a part of you, but it no longer needs to be a part of you. So whatever it is that you're feeling, thinking, going through,
Yeah.
like just remember, millions and millions and billions of people have done this the exact same thing as you and have come out on the other side. So it can be done, and it's not necessarily scary. I want people to think of it as a
Yeah.
good thing. It's a
And
necessary
just
part
know
of growing
that
up.
it's temporary. It's only a
Exactly.
phase, right?
Yes.
It's just a chapter. It's not your whole book, right? It's just one chapter. And
Exactly.
and the only way out is actually through. So that's why don't resist it. Just let it play out and practice being the observer, and it will be easier with time. So we have a
Yeah.
question.
So, Lanny Banani has been leaving a couple of more comments, which are really, really
Yeah.
good ones. So once you have the space of awareness, it allows you to have the choice to continue to do, be,
Right.
think, or act the way that you always have, or do something different. That's like, do you want what, you have this wonderful brand new car on this game show, or you can
Right.
go for whatever is behind curtain number two. Like you get to make
Right.
those choices, right? And you can have what is known that it doesn't say that you can't, but now you're just kind of delaying the inevitable because you are going to be asked to up spiral and level up. She also
Right.
says you can't change anything that you're not aware
Yes.
of. A lot of people are
Hmm.
not aware. They're not aware until they start hitting these rock bottom points that they're starting. That is the beginning of awareness. If they were not aware before,
Yes.
that's where they start
That's
questioning
why.
everything.
That's why sometimes so thank you, Lenny, for all the wonderful comments, and that's why sometimes ignorance it's a true bliss, and I'm not just
Yeah,
because think about it, if you want to change something, like if you are aware of something and you don't know how to change it, really I rather not knowing.
exactly, exactly.
And
But
so where you start, you can really unsee what you already seen, right? You can really go back on this journey. So you just have to go through this tunnel to reach the light. So just keep moving, and you are never alone. There's always someone that you can talk to. There's always like a YouTube video, a book or something, or someone that can help you. And if you like just take it one day of the time, I want to say something like when there's a certain point that I was really lost, and just I asked someone like a spiritual teacher, like what's the point, right? Just what is my purpose? So it told me something really powerful. Like right now, your purpose is just to exist. Yeah,
Yeah.
just to be, just to exist right now and to handle right now what you're dealing with, like without thinking about how it's going to turn out. Is it going to end? Right? Those questions are not going to help you. So just take it one day at a time and stay present as much as you can. And just right now, if you are in the midst of of this chaos, just right now your purpose is just to exist and to handle all those things. So this is just your purpose right now.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a big one too. When you don't know what to do, what is it that they say? So
You don't do
usually if
anything.
yeah,
Yeah,
if
just
you don't know
allow
what
everything to be out.
yep, if you don't know what to do next, just at that point do nothing. The right things will find you at the right time, and that is part of the awakening as well, is recognizing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
this has been cool.
yeah. So we are we're going to end this live soon. So first, I want to thank all of you that been a part of this live. And if you're watching the replay, like feel free to leave a comment with a question, and we'll be answering it. And Mani, what are your final thoughts? And one more thing, we are going to do it like every Wednesday, right? Every Wednesday at the
Yes.
same time. It's 10 a.m. Central Time. So, Mani, what are your final thoughts?
So so many of them, and a lot of them are hard to verbalize, but you know this is what going through these spiritual leveling up periods where things fall away and come together, fall away, come together again, you're building. You are building and building that new building that is you, not the building that others built for you and crammed you into,
Mm-hmm.
like when you were little. This is something that is entirely you. So when things are falling apart and you feel absolutely cursed and everything goes wrong, people fall away, you don't love what you used to love, and you're feeling numb, it's okay. It's
Yeah,
100% okay. You're gonna come out on the other end of this. Just
right.
just just find the things that will help you. You will attract the right things into your life at the right time.
Yeah, like
So,
Heather said in the comments, if you don't know what to do, do nothing. Let time and space happen. Exactly that.
100%. Woo-hoo! That's
And
awesome.
my final thoughts about it, if you said something about expressing, start expressing yourself. Don't keep everything to yourself. If you have like a safe space, this life can be your safe space to express yourself and what you're going through. And we can talk about everything, as long as it's legal. We can talk about everything in this life. All right. So I want to thank everyone for joining us. And if you're watching the replay, feel free to comment. And we are going to see you next Wednesday. Sending much love.
I wonder if it can you put your hand on over just a little. There we go.
All right. So
All right.
have a beautiful day, everyone. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. Bye.
Bye bye.